The Fantastic Four are finally back. And no, they're not clouds or awkwardly miscast or inexplicably brooding. They're stylish, stretchy, on fire, and flying headfirst into Galactus' face. Welcome to the Marvel movie that dares to be weird, retro, and, dare I say it, fantastic.
Say that again?
But is Fantastic Four First Steps the rebirth that we were promised? Or just a flashy prequel to Avengers Doomsday? With more family drama than a Thanksgiving dinner at Doom's Castle? Let's stretch into it. In Fantastic Four First Steps, Reed, Sue, Ben, and Johnny are launched into the cosmic spotlight after a mission gone wrong gives them superpowers, which the film mercifully skips explaining in detail. They're already heroes when we meet them, with Sue's future foundation ushering world peace, Reed building teleportation tech, and Johnny, well, being Johnny. Their mission is to confront a rogue cosmic anomaly, Galactus. Turns into a cosmic negotiation with the fate of the Earth at stake. I was looking forward to Fantastic Four First Steps. It's not your typical Marvel movie, and Marvel has just gotten kind of bland. It's just cookie cutter. But this looked different, it felt different, with the retro-futurism, and basically taking Fantastic Four back to their roots. I mean, how many times have they tried to get this to work? I guess you could argue the first two iterations, not the Roger Corman one, the first two iterations with Jessica Alba were successful, I guess, but I don't think they were very good movies. And then we won't even discuss the disastrous 2015 film. But this is Marvel's first family. You've got to get it right somehow. I'll go with the good. The cast, acting are phenomenal. I was not a fan of Pedro Pascal's casting as Reed Richards. I'm like, why is this guy in everything? But I felt the same way when he was cast as Joel in The Last of Us. And guess what? He proved me wrong once again. He's great in this, and he does a great job as the world-weary scientist that is Reed Richards. And I shouldn't underestimate Pedro Pascal anymore. I mean, he can play a bisexual prince in Game of Thrones, a blue-collar mercenary in The Last of Us, and probably the smartest man in the world, Fantastic Four. The dude's an actor's actor. I was a big fan of Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm because I think she looks just like Sue Storm in the comics. Although I haven't seen her in much, I'm not a huge fan of her acting from what I saw. I just seen her in Napoleon and one of the Mission Impossible movies. But damn, she is freaking great in this. She's probably the main character, and she does a phenomenal job as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, who I'm a big fan of from The Bear, is fantastic as the Thing.
Say that again?
He's loyal, lovable, and surprisingly soulful. And Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and I liked what they did with Johnny Storm in this. He's not some dude bro like Chris Evans in the first Fantastic Four films. He's actually smart. That's what I liked about this team. It's not like they were pigeonholed into like some stereotype. They're all scientists, and Johnny Storm, especially when he goes off and does his own thing with his own intelligence, he is trying to help. He's trying to contribute, and he does. And I really like what they did with this character. And like Superman, they just skip over the origin story. They kind of give you a brief introduction to it. And I think that's like just a smart thing. We're kind of superhero overload right now. We don't need origin stories unless it's like a character we have no idea about. And I loved the first half of this movie. It was awesome. The 60s style television interviews and sort of the documentary part of what they were like before they got transformed. And just like the brightness and just this whole 60s aesthetic was awesome. It was just something completely different for Marvel. And then we get the inciting incident with the Silver Surfer, where she is the herald for Galactus and is telling him he's going to eat their planet. That leads to them doing this like negotiation thing with Galactus. That and the chase scene that ensues after that are fantastic.
Say that again?
I loved every aspect of that. That's where it kind of drags for me though after this, because it starts so upbeat and leading to them meeting Galactus for the first time, trying to negotiate. And the chase scene is fantastic.
Say that again?
I want to stop saying fantastic. But after that, it's kind of dour in a way. The pacing's a little off. It just felt like something was off after that. Basically, it's Reed Richards and the rest of the crew trying to plan of what to do with Galactus. And it's not like I hated everything there. It's just like the pacing was off. It was not matching the same energy as the first half. And I feel like a lot of the side characters weren't really given much to do. I mean, you cast Paul Walter Hauser as Mole Man, and he has a little side thing he does, but it's not very much. And the same thing with Natasha Lyonne, who is Ben Grimm love interest, and they don't really do much with her either. It's like you got these two actors just to be in a Marvel movie for a few scenes. It just felt like a disconnect. And even with the Silver Surfer, like, there's a thing that happens at the end, and it doesn't really build up to it very much. It just comes out of nowhere. It just felt like they were missing something with a lot of the side characters. Yeah, it's a team movie. Fantastic Four, you have a lot of characters, 4 characters that you need to establish, but it felt like they neglected the side characters. And this kind of reminds me of what I miss about some movies sometimes. The lack of connectivity to other movies. It's like Fantastic Four was allowed to do its own thing, but it's not going to last long because the next Marvel movie is Avengers Doomsday, which is going to be a proto sequel to this. So I'm going to miss like the stylings of this. I'm looking forward to Doomsday. I'm interested in it, but it's like, let's do this awesome new daring thing. Okay, bring them to the Avengers, and I don't know. It's just a little disappointing, but not everything needs to be so connected, I think, but that's just me. Now, I want to go into spoilers a little bit, just because I think most of everyone who's watched this has probably already seen the movie, so I kind of wanted to discuss the after credits and maybe what's to come for Avengers Doomsday. So 4 years after this, after the events of the movie, Sue leaves Franklin, that is Reed Richards and Invisible Woman's son, for 2 seconds alone, and guess who's kneeling to him, talking to him, without his face being exposed to the camera with his mask off? Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr.'s body double. And then the very, very end, there's just like the intro to the in-universe Fantastic Four cartoon playing with songs and everything. So Franklin Richards is basically Marvel's baby Jesus. He's got the power cosmic, he's got the reality manipulation, and big multiverse energy. So I was wrong about Thunderbolts. I thought their world got destroyed and they're kind of like refugees coming to Earth 616. It seems like Franklin is kidnapped by Dr. Doom, who escapes to 616, and they're going after him. And that's what brings them into the Avengers. They'll probably use the bridge that was introduced in this to bring them to Earth 616. And I assume Dr. Doom is going to play like puppet master with Franklin's godhood. We already know X-Men are going to be in there. They're going to be fighting the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. So I don't know. It should be a fun event movie. Overall, I would give Fantastic Four First Steps 3.5 out of 5. It's a weird, wonderful throwback that kind of fumbles with the pacing in the second half and kind of comes off as just another Marvel movie with a fresh coat of paint. It's not trying to set up a dozen different spin-offs until it is. But, I mean, it's definitely a move in the right direction for Marvel. I mean, we're not going to get another Marvel movie for like a year and a half now. And I am totally fine with that. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I did find Fantastic Four pretty refreshing for a Marvel movie. But what did you think of Fantastic Four First Steps? Is Marvel back on track? How did you like it compared to Superman though? Let's fight it out in the comments below. Make sure to appease the algorithm gods, especially Marvel baby Jesus Franklin. and hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more movie reviews like this. I also have a whole playlist of movie reviews below in the description, and I'll see you later. Bye.